Hello and welcome to another episode of Back Nine Report. As always, we want to welcome our good friend Mike May, who's here to help us get through this information and talk about what's going on in the world of golf. Mike, welcome into Back Nine Report.
The pleasure. We never lack of things to talk about, including today.
Yes, that is very true. There's always so much going on, and we've seen that when we do the magazines, Ohio, Indiana, Michigan golf journals, that we have so much information that we aren't able to put it all in there. It just isn't enough space, and we end up not using stuff or rolling it into the next month or whatever. But there's always a lot to talk about, and we enjoy it. That's what we like to do. So, Mike, last summer, I talked to Stacy Lewis at the Solheim Cup. I'm sorry, I talked to her at the marathon at the Dana Open, actually in Toledo, and she is the Solheim Cup captain for this coming year that will be played over in Spain in September. And I was asking her who are some of the younger ladies that she was watching that she might want to have on the team. Yeah, they always seem to like to bring up at least one young rookie or younger player who's maybe kind of on a high streak or playing quite well to get him that experience, to get him that exposure. And one of the names that she mentioned to me when I was talking to her last summer was Lilia Vu. And lo and behold, she jumps up and wins this week in Thailand. So who is Lilia Vu? Well, she played collegiately at UCLA, was a low amateur at the 2018 Chevron. She was a 2018 Women's Golf Coaches Association Player of the Year and Pac-12 Golfer of the Year. On the Epson Tour last year, she made 15 of 18 cuts, had 3 wins, earned her LPGA Tour card. I'm sorry, that was in 21. She earned her card last year, so she played on the tour last year. She only missed a couple of cuts last year in her rookie season, earned almost $1 million, 900,000, over 900,000. And this was her first appearance in Thailand. She joins Jessica Korda and Lexi Thompson as the third American to win this event. She carded 8 birdies in her final round, shoots 64, won by a single stroke over. And please bear with me, Nathakrita
Sounds good.
Vongtavila,
Yes.
something like that, who is from Thailand. And also, she won by 2 shots over Athaya Thidikul, who was in 3rd place. So her 255,000 first place check puts her over $1 million earnings already in her young career. So, Mike, what can you tell us about Lilia Vu?
In my work on the LPGA Tour, I noticed her name a lot, especially on the weekends. So she was making cuts, and she was a player who was putting together some good rounds. And again, she shot 8 under par, 8 birdies. And just was on fire and was aiming for. I think her goal. I read their story. She was her mindset was, I need a birdie every hole, and if she didn't birdie it, then take that mindset to the next hole. So it was truly attacking pins, and I think she'll probably take that mindset into Singapore this week.
You know, we talk about the PGA Tour and how deep they are, and even all these guys have left and gone to the LIV. Some of these big names, these younger guys step up and they play well and they're competitive, and it gives them a shot. But on the LPGA Tour, we see these young girls come in all the time and push these established players. I mean, they've always got this new talent coming in, and there's just coming out of college now. They get such great training when they're juniors, playing the AJGA events, playing in college. The college coaches do a great job getting them ready. And when they hit the LPGA, they're ready to go, Mike.
Yes, it's we're seeing it from Europe. We're seeing it from Korea. Young Sasso, the 19 at the time, defeated Lexi Thompson in California at the Olympic Club in 2021, I believe that was the year. So it's a matter of who can get hot with the putter. They all have great swings. I see it all the time, and slow, rhythmic, powerful. And some are short, some girls are tall, but they can all hit it well and accurately. And again, I think it comes down to a mindset of putting on the weekend, and whoever got the best mindset and can visualize those putts dropping, they do, and they won. And that was quite the performance yesterday. 64, 8 under, no bogeys. tremendous. And she actually was the most decorated golfer in the history of UCLA women's golf, won 8 titles as a Bruin. So it's and she got off to a bit of a rough start as a pro, but I think she's got the confidence that you need. And this is not the last we'll see of Lilia Vu. And if we don't see her in just Spain, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I think she'll be on the Solheim Cup team. Um, a player that we watched and just dominated the tour for a couple years, Jin Young Ko, has been struggling with a wrist injury for over a year. Posted 4 rounds in the 60s, and she was under par for the first time since last summer. It's been a long time to play rounds like for her. I mean, she is such a great player, and she appears to be maybe getting back to that world-class form that made her the #1 player in the world and so dominant on the LPGA Tour. I think she finished up T6 for the week, but 4 solid rounds, and I can't wait to see Jin Young Ko get back to her world-class form, Mike.
Yeah, we the depth of the LPGA circuit, I think, is at a record level right now. You can easily list 15 to 20 names who have won, are ready to win. And another great player who I expect to win any day now, Megan Kang, Khang.
Yes.
Solid player, great attitude. I'm not shocked when she puts together good rounds, and fun to watch, personal with the fans. She's one of those players I'm sure that our Solheim captain is looking at as well.
She was on the last Solheim Cup team at in Inverness and got to talk to her a little bit. Really, really great young lady. Other players of note in Thailand, Lydia Ko, Nelly Korda, and Leona Maguire also finished tied with Jin Young Ko for 6th place. Lydia just keeps racking up top 10s, really playing at a high level. Another of our favorites, Georgia Hall, tied for 10th, along with Ashley Buhai, Hoo Kim, and Jody Ewart Shadow. Oh, and Anna Nordquist as well. So they had a great tournament over there. Now the LPGA Tour is going to Singapore for the HSBC Women's World Championship. That has a $1.8 million purse. And Mike, I don't know if you saw it or not, but they announced last week a new mixed team event between the LPGA Tour and the PGA Tour. So that's going to be held in December, at the beginning of December at Tiburon, down there in Naples. And so it will allow players from both tours, PGA Tour and the LPGA Tour, to compete for an equal prize and visibility. So that's what Carlos and I have been talking about. Michael Wan kind of promised that we would see mixed events for the PGA Tour and the LPGA Tour. And so it's kind of good that this has popped up. I can't wait to see this, Mike.
I think the timing is perfect. It's after the both tours have their respective tour championships. It's in a beautiful part of the world. The players for both circuits know those courses because they're down there. The women have their tour championship there, and I think it's a breath of fresh air, and maybe it's the beginning of a trend. I know the last mixed team event was 1999, the old J.C. Penney Classic, where Laura Davies and John Daly won. I think they ought to be brought back for old time's sake. Give them an exemption and see if they can win one for the over 50 circuit.
There you go. All right, that wraps up another Back Nine Report. A little bit of information on the LPGA Tour. Mike, thanks a lot for being with us. We really appreciate it.
Your pleasure.